Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.
Welcome back to the show, Expanding Heart Tarot. Kaye Ashbridge joining us again, helping so many see the light. And she's an intuitive. I can call her a medium. I could call her psychic. I could call her a tarot intuitive and so much more. But she's really here to talk more about how she's helping people, coaching people, with mindset and all that she could do. So, Kaye, welcome back today. How are you?
Great. Thank you for having me, Jill. I am vibing high. Looking forward to hopefully talking to some of our audience.
That's right. We're going to open up the lines in just 5 more minutes at 631-307-4031. In the meantime, I just want first you to have introduce yourself if you don't mind.
Yeah, I'm Kaye Ashbridge. I am owner and founder of Expanding Heart Tarot. I am a psychic medium, tarot intuitive, and have been on a lifelong journey of healing myself. And several years ago, I started helping others heal in the same way that I healed. And it's quite a journey. It's a lot of fun. And I study all the time. And I have so many people who, they come to me for a tarot reading because something's going on in their life and they want to know an answer or some insight or a direction. And it's very exciting, very fun. And oftentimes people will say, wow, I got a lot out of that. What else can we do? And, I can't really just have someone come back every week or every month for a tarot reading because sometimes things aren't going to change that quickly. However, when we're talking about our personal mindsets and thinking negative thoughts versus thinking positive thoughts, vibing high versus vibing low, now we really have something to talk about. And we can talk about this every single day.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love working with you, speaking with you. Your energy is awesome. And I appreciate the camaraderie we have here. And listeners, we want to get you involved as well. For today, we're going to talk about high vibes, positive mindset. And of course, you mentioned I've created a draft for your reference. Then we have it here. And guess what we're going to do? We're going to talk about some of these changes, right?
Yeah.
These adaptations. And guess what? Also, we're opening up the phone line, 631-307-4010. That's 631-307-4010. If you have any questions for Miss Kaye Ashbridge at any time, feel free to reach out, and always want to establish the best form of contact, how we can reach you, if you don't mind, before we start the conversation.
Yes, you can always reach me at my website. That is expandinghearttarot.com. You can send me an email at kashbridge@gmail.com. And I'm on Instagram and I'm on Facebook under Expanding Heart Tarot, Kaye Ashbridge.
Beautiful. Thanks so much.
Yeah.
All right. So let's get started. What do you want to, how do we get into the high vibe mood mindset? Explain this to us.
Yeah. So I thought what I'd do is talk about, I said high vibe and positive mindset because they really have the same core concept. And that is being characterized by a person who's optimistic. So a high vibe person with a positive mindset, they find themselves in challenging situations looking for solutions, even seeing the silver lining. They don't go to doom and gloom automatically. They go to, okay, what now? How can I overcome this? How can I be better from this? So, and there's 4 main parts of having a positive mindset and high vibes, as far as really great benefits and why you would want to strive to achieve a positive mindset and high vibes. And the first thing really is our perspective. So the outlook that we have in the world, when we are coming from a positive mindset, we don't look at the world in gloom and doom and all the negativity. Yeah, we're aware of it. We know it's there, but we choose to find the positive aspects because finding the positive helps light us up. And when we're lit up, we can vibe higher. So when we're talking about our perspective, we choose that perspective. So as we get into this positive mindset, we have to realize that we're consciously making an effort to be positive. And another benefit of having high vibes and a positive mindset is our emotional state. Once we achieve a certain state, a certain level, it's easier to come from that state after setbacks. So when someone is in a real nice emotional state, that's where they're content, generally content with their lives and the world around them. They're optimistic as they navigate challenges, because having a really high vibe and positive emotional state, it really allows us to energetically inform the world about us and what we're about. And like attracts like, those frequencies go out and bring back to us more of the same. So really being aware of what our emotional state is very important to our emotional health. And the impact we have on others when we're coming from a positive mindset and we're vibing high, we can help others come through their challenges. Like, especially if you have kids or loved ones and you're in a big rush in the morning, getting out for school and work and all that kind of stuff. And
you're reading my mind. You have permission. That's me. And this morning is my son's 8th birthday too. So it's like, the chaos.
Happy birthday. Yay.
Yes, thank you. But yes.
But yeah, we can tend to come from that too busy, too much going on, and then react rather than take that pause and act how we would like,
accordingly,
right?
And kindly, and
like it's your birthday, it's the best day ever, it's going to be great.
Good morning. Mommy's not rushing to try to blow up the rest of the balloons. Mommy's got the backpack together. Yeah, but I caught myself doing that today.
You talk yourself through it. I'm going to get through this, I can overcome this.
That's so funny.
You know what? Resilience too, a very super high, superhuman kind of benefit of having a positive mindset and high vibes is that our resilience and our own immune systems are boosted. So we can bounce back from emotional challenges, physical illnesses, just feelings of overwhelm. We can catch ourselves and we can bring ourselves back to a positive state a lot more easily because we have built up a resilience. And our resilience is kind of like having grit. Like, I know I'm going to get through this. I know we can automatically go to the positive rather than the feelings of gloom and doom and poor me and victimhood, right? Yep. So all that kind of stuff, it's so prevalent in the world we live in, and the world is a dynamic place. And sometimes people feel unsafe. And so when we feel unsafe, then we don't trust ourselves. We don't trust the decisions we make.
Anything. Yeah.
Yeah.
Been there. Yeah.
What do you do when you have to bring yourself back to the positive state? How do you do that, Jill?
Well, I teach my son how to breathe in deep inhale, exhale through the mouth. I can't talk and do both. That's what I teach my son to do. And he's, just turned 8 and he does it so well. But guilty, I don't do it. I don't. When I'm stressed out, I'm just stressed out. I don't know how to control it. I try to teach him this and it works for him because I saw people do it, but I don't do anything. I stress. What should I be doing? What could we be doing? I probably could work on the breathing myself, but I really never did. And
so here's what I'm hearing. You learned this technique. You intellectually accepted that it is a practical technique and it works. And you shared it with someone and you saw that they got good results. Yeah. And that's great. So it was easier for you to, outside of yourself, help another.
Yeah.
But when it comes to helping ourselves, that's the hardest part. Self-care. People think the word selfish is just a horrible place to be. We all learn that is negative, that you are not a good person if you're being selfish. And I think as young children from my day, the adults use that to shame us into better behavior, but it left us with shame.
Yeah.
Right? So how do you get rid of that? We need to learn that being selfish is really being self-full, because how can you really help your loved ones if you're in a state of spiral and feeling out of control emotionally yourself? So that self-care matters so much. And it's not about being selfish.
We're getting a call. Hold on.
Oh, yay.
Hello and welcome to the show. You are live on the air with Kaye Ashbridge. How can we help you?
Hi, this is Aaron. I'm just curious to know. Good afternoon. Would you believe that tarot card readings would persuade individuals to make decisions in their lives?
Well, would I think that a card reading can persuade someone to do something in their lives? Well, I would say yes and no. My intention when I sit with a querent and I'm reading for them is not to really influence what they're going to do. I definitely see that what I do is offer a perspective or an insight that the querent may not be seeing. So it's a way of looking at the energy around the person in the situation and possibly seeing different aspects of it that can open up an understanding within the querent, so they have a new perspective. Does that answer your? And did that answer your question?
100%. Yes, thank you.
Well, it's my pleasure. And boy, thank you for that question. That's a really good question. But again, we're all going to we have free will. So we're going to do whatever it is we're going to do, whether we went to the card reader or not.
At the end of the day, right, exactly. Exactly. At the end of the day, we're all going to do what we're going to do. And, the tarot, the readings, it's not really necessarily, I mean, you can look at it as a fact also, not really an opinion, a fact.
Thank you for that. I really appreciate that because for me, tarot is very real, and the dialogue is as if you and I are dialoguing. That's how this cards speak with me. And, my goal is always to share with another individual that they are the light. It's coming from them. The magic is in you.
Thank you very much.
You're so welcome. You have a beautiful day.
Thank you. Thanks so much for the call. Bye-bye. All right. 631-307-4010. Lines are open. 631-307-4010. If you have any questions for Kaye. And you're probably better at this, but I forgot what we were talking about when the caller came. Do you remember? Can you recall?
I can. We were on the obviously mindset and how let's say we were kind of talking about how we spiral out of control and how we bring ourselves back on track. Yeah. Okay, so there's a few things that we can do that science helps us with, and one of them is cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, right? So everybody's talking about that. What that is, it's kind of a fancy way of saying awareness, self-awareness. So in order to change what might be a negative mindset into a positive mindset, we have to start stalking our thoughts. We have to start being super honest with ourselves and realizing, wow, did that just come from my own mind? Was that a judgment? Was that a nasty thought towards someone else? Was that some critical self-talk I just told myself that I would never speak to a friend like that? How could I let myself talk to myself? So this cognitive behavioral therapy is really about being self-aware and recognizing the negative thoughts and really reframing them to the positive. And it sounds kind of simple, but please try it for the rest of the day. And you will realize how busy our minds get, and they get so far ahead of us. They're in the future, years and years away, and we're just trying to figure out what to do with the situation in front of us. So bringing that mind back to the present moment constantly. And that self-awareness grows and grows. And the benefits of being self-aware are that we can realize that the power of our thought is creating the experience that we're having. And that's not smoke. That is real. And when we understand what the beauty of science and what we're learning about the field, the neuroplasticity of our minds and how powerful our minds are, right? So quantum physics and quantum mechanics has been teaching us over these last couple decades, that our thoughts can be measured. They are like radio waves. We can tune our thoughts into a radio channel that is for our higher good, or that is not. And we can choose. So when we think about neuroplasticity, that science tells us that, like, if we can think of our brains, think of your brain, and think of it as having pathways or tracks through it, that your thoughts are walking through your brain and they're creating pathways. And the more we think those same thoughts, the deeper the tracks get. So if we've been in a very negative mindset for weeks or days or years, those tracks are deep.
Okay.
But the beauty of it is, we can, through consciousness, our conscious will, we can begin to change our thoughts from negative to positive, and we can change those tracks. We can create beautiful tracks. And what science shows us is that the neuroplasticity of our brains, the neurons, when we're in a very positive state and we're thinking compassion and love and happiness and joy, our neurons, they move and they find each other and they grow and they create cohesion. Now, it's a beautiful thing. Because when we're in a cohesion, our brain, our heart, our bodies, everything's flowing with a positive energy. That's back to our resilience, the impact we have on our lives, our world around us, our positive outlooks, how we bounce back from challenges, right? So having that positive mindset, thinking of those wonderful things, we can see in literal films that we have scientifically, our brains light up in beautiful colors and those neurons reach out to each other. Now you get somebody who's very angry and very mad and stuck in a loop of this, and their brains look very different. They're very dark, they're very gray, and the neurons recede from each other and get into clumps. There's no good flow going on there. So is anybody getting this? I hope so. When we think about, I'm going to use a metaphor, okay? So let's say that we get cut off in traffic this morning.
Oh gosh,
we can't stop thinking about it. We're so mad.
Mm-hmm.
We want to flip that person off. We're thinking about what a jerk they are. We're having conversations in our head and they have driven away. They're not even thinking of us. Or maybe we had an argument with a loved one last month and we can't get over it. And every time we think about it, we relive that emotionally. We're reliving the whole thing again, like it happened yesterday. Now, remember, our brains cannot tell the difference between a real happening and a thought or a memory or a visualization. The brain thinks it's all true. So we have the power.
We have the power to really change our minds and
we
think about things we want, tell them we have it. If we say we have it, it's like we really do. And the whole neural pathways open up. And I'm no doctor or psychic medium like you, but I understand. This is great.
Yes, it is. And so even if we know this and we understand that this is really great to work with, how do we implement it? Because you got to start stalking your thoughts. It takes a lot of practice and it takes a lot of honesty. Yeah. Because when we start watching our very thoughts and listening to our self-talk, observing the judgments we have against others, we have to be really honest with ourselves and come to that, like, hey, is this who I want to be? Is this who I am? Sometimes our shadow comes up. That's a whole nother topic.
And hold on, there's a call coming in. Hi, welcome to the show. Who's this? You are live on the line.
Hi, this is Alan. I called last week. How are you?
Hi, Alan. How are you?
Hi, you're live on the air with Kaye Ashbridge, by the way. Say hello.
Hello. Nice to hear from you again. So I'm just curious. I know you were talking about having a more positive mindset, and I've been kind of trying to, kind of make this belief in this woman, that I really like a lot. Trying to make it. What's that term that they use when you're trying, like, make it like seem like it's real. Why is the term escaping me? But yeah, I just want to see like if this is really going to be happening. And
so like positive mindset towards a relationship goal. If
yeah,
there's like, I never thought about it that way. Could you, like, if you're fixing yourself with someone, I mean, but it has to be mutual. So
yeah, I want to manifest this.
manifest.
Yes, to manifest. You know, Ellen, I just have to tell you a little story. This is true. I had a client come to me a while back, and they were very much wanting to be in a relationship. They so wanted a relationship, and they shared with me that they have been doing affirmations and visualizations and all this stuff, but really with their affirmations. And something came to me, and we got really personal and very detailed, because what came to me was that this person who was trying to manifest a love relationship in their life, they were not being specific enough. It was very general. I want a relationship. I want someone in my life. I want a partner. I want a twin flame. All these things were coming out, but never did this individual say, I'd like it to be a human, and it needs to be a woman, and they need to be equally interested in me. And as I was explaining this, it came through. It was pretty humorous later, but I said, look, if you don't get very specific, you're going to get a stray cat. And he said, oh my God, I have 4 stray cats in the last year. So when your manifestations are working, are they female? And he's like, yeah, they're all female. I said, well, let's get clear on human. So anyway, to be, don't be shy. When you're in your personal affirmation, be very, very detailed. What it is that you want in a relationship.
Every time we go out, we have sparks, and it seems to be heading in the right direction. And it's just a very special woman.
Keep that very much alive, that energy that you're sharing with us here live. And also don't push, feel it, love it, have gratitude for it, desire more of it, and also kind of surrender to it and allow it to express itself. So don't have expectations that this is going to happen next, and then that's going to happen, and then it'll be this, and you're in your mind planning ahead. Be grateful.
I try not to put too much pressure on the situation, and I try and let it happen, organically. Mm-hmm. But I'm so crazy about this woman. She really, and I feel like the electricity's there too. So I think it's going to happen. Matter of fact, I'm pretty positive it will. But I just wanted to. I want to move things along a little quicker than I guess really.
Don't let your impatience push her away.
Yeah.
Right. So
sometimes I guess
there's 2 of you free willing here. So respect her space and her will, and be available. Just make yourself available.
Yeah, and I get it, because she's a mom. She's got 2 kids. Young kids. So and I get it. And I'm a dad, so I understand completely.
Well, you keep your vibes high and your mindset high, and give this woman some space.
Yeah, I will. I'll do my best, of course.
Aw, you sound sad today. Don't be sad. Positive mindset. Keep it happy. Yeah.
I'm in a good place. I'm in a real good place.
Good for you. I'm so glad you called, Alan. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. Have a fantastic day. All right, 631-307-4010. If anyone else wants to give us a call. In the meantime, wow, that went quick. We have 3 minutes left on the clock. Sorry, Kaye. Wow.
That's all right. Hey,
keep going.
If anyone would like help, I have on my website, which is expandinghearttarot.com, I have a whole booking page that gives many different options of the services that I provide, and always reach out if you need something else or something customized, and I make myself available to you.
And how could we do that?
You can reach out to expandinghearttarot.com, go to my book a session, schedule with me. You can reach me on kashbridge@gmail.com, and you can find me on Facebook and Instagram
Perfect.
under expandinghearttarot.com. Kaye Ashbridge.
Aw, thank you. Any words of advice, positivity do you want to leave off with today?
You know what? Really, give yourself at least 5 minutes in the morning and 5 minutes in the evening and pay attention to your self-talk. Just sit in quiet silence for 5 minutes. No phone, no distractions, and breathe and love yourself.
Yeah.
Love yourself, because each one of us is a spark from the divine, and we ought to treat ourselves like that. So self-respect, good self-talk, lots of self-love.
Beautiful. Thank you so much. You have a fantastic day and pleasure having you. Thank you for our callers for calling in, and keep it real, keep it positive. Yeah, I like this. Reach out to her. She's available to speak with you anywhere around the world, right? Because you're doing these virtual readings.
Yep.
Beautiful.
That's right.
All right, Kaye, enjoy your day. And just
Thank
curious,
you,
what is
Jill.
your necklace? Symbolize
It's
or
a
mean?
spiral. It's like the yantra or the chakra spiral.
Well, it's beautiful because it's a really beautiful eyepiece. My eyes keep going to you and the earrings, but it's gorgeous. I didn't know if it had any meaning whatsoever, but are we putting positivity in the circle and we're going to run and like that? Good. All right. Thank you.
This is how our chakras spin.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, sweetheart. You have a great day, and we'll talk again next week, I hope. Okay.
Thank you so much, Jill. I'll see you next
Bye.
week.
Broadcasting from the business capital of the world, this is the Podcast Business News Network.